Yeah, who would have thought Foreigner had a song called Dirty White Boy? Well, you'll know it by the end of this song because they say the phrase dirty white boy probably about 30 times on this whole song.
Hey, music fans, welcome back to our Foreigner album review series. We are on part 3, Head Games, and we have a very, we'll just say interesting album cover on this one. First, I'm going to get into a little bit of background information. So, there's not a whole lot of background information for this one, but there's a little bit that's pretty important. First of all, this album was produced by somebody different. The first two were produced by a guy named Keith Olsen. This one, they ended up going with the producer Roy Thomas Baker, who you may have heard that name before. He most famously produced The Cars, Journey, and Queen. Nice. It's the only album that was produced by him, but he was a real big deal in like the mid to late 70s, so they got him to produce this one here. The other little bit of background information that's important to this album is that they fired their bass player. Their bass player on the first two albums, his name was Ed Gagliardi. They ended up firing him. He was replaced with a bass player named Rick Wills. And Rick Wills is kind of like, when you think of Foreigner, he's kind of like the bass player that you would think of whenever you think of Foreigner. I mean,
this album cover is weird.
Yeah.
This is a terrible idea to have a teenage girl doing whatever she's doing in the bathroom. It looks really perverted looking at this thing, especially if it looks like a teenage girl doing this. So whoever designed this album cover must have been a real dirty white boy.
Yeah. The band says that it's just that, like, she's nervous because the person who bought the record caught her writing graffiti on the wall, but I don't really buy that.
Yeah, if you look at the picture on Spotify likes to have the characters moving.
Oh no!
For some reason, yeah. So it's interesting. You look at as I'm like listening to this on Spotify, and you see the cover, and you see her kind of move her hand back and forth. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are going to get right into the first song on the album, and that is this is the actual name of the song, "Dirty White Boy."
Yeah, who would have thought Foreigner had a song called Dirty White Boy? Well, you'll know it by the end of this song because they say the phrase dirty white boy probably about 30 times on this whole song. That's literally just the whole chorus. Oh, I'm a dirty white boy. Oh, I'm a dirty white boy. Oh, I'm a dirty white boy. This song is catchy. I like the guitar work on it. Definitely not a top tier Foreigner song though, because all those dirty white boys get really repetitive after a while. It's not in my top 5. Apparently, this was a hit song. I don't think it did as well as some of the other ones. I think there's another song I think it did better. I think it's fine for what it is, but I think having this as the album opener, especially considering the previous albums had Feels Like the First Time and Hot Blooded, that was the album opener from the last album. Those are way better album openers than Dirty White Boy. This is just, I think this would have been a good middle track song on the album. So I think it kind of pales as an album opener, but the song itself is fine. It's just not my favorite.
I'm gonna be completely different than what Jacob's opinion is. I think this one rocks, and I think it is a really good way to introduce the album. The first time I listened to this, I was like, Did they really name the song "Dirty White Boy"? And it's like, oh, yep, they're they're really going for that. But it's kind of like don't mess with me. I'm the dirty white boy. And yeah, it is kind of repetitive. They say that a lot, but I don't know. It's just got like a kind of a chugging beat, like a bow, 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 bow. That guitar riff is really heavy. There's a pretty good guitar solo as well, and I love the end where Lou Gramm just goes, yeah. I don't know. It's kind of a guilty pleasure for me on this album.
Yeah, I thought this was kind of a terrible title track. Just looking at what a weird title. And he refers to himself as a dirty white boy, I think, in the song, which I'm like, why would you ever refer yourself? That sounds like a derogatory term. I would, if someone said, hey, dirty white boy, I'd be like we're gonna throw down or something like. But anyways, I thought it was actually not a bad opener just because it was rocking. That guitar hits. It's a really good rocking guitar. So I kind of liked that. It kind of set the pace of the album. Like right away, you're like, all right, this is a rock album. I hear this guitar is gonna rock, and it was pretty well paced. I mean, yeah, I love the bass throughout the whole album. That's interesting. I didn't know there was a new bass player, but I don't know that it's complicated bass, but I always hear the bass coming into do 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 do. It had this very well boom 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 boom, just really fast pacedness to it. It rocked. I think it has maybe the best guitar solo on the whole album. I want to say, I thought towards the end, I think there was like a really good guitar solo, if I remember right. So that's good. I will say, yeah, lyrically, not very good. Vocally, I mean, good, but it's like one of those things where like instrumentally great, vocally, it's just lyrically and song wise and chorus wise, it was a little weak in those areas. So I'm kind of like in the middle. I'm like, it was okay.
Okay, well, the next song, track number 2, is "Love on the Telephone."
Yeah, this song to me should have been the true album opener. I really dug this song. This felt like a high quality Foreigner song. The production on it, the guitar work. I love Lou Gramm's vocals on this. You can tell the passion in his voice as he's singing. I guess kind of the story about the song, about the long distance relationship and how it might be falling apart, but he wants to get it back. I do really like that in the song. Some really good guitar work on it. I had heard this one before listening to this album, even though it wasn't a hit song. And I think this is one of the more underrated Foreigner songs. It doesn't really get talked about that often. And this song made my top 5. I think it's a really great song. Definitely one of the standouts.
For a long time, like I did not listen to this album. It's not just because of the album cover. I'm like, I don't want to look at that. Not even on like that big on my phone. But listening to this, I was like, this song is really good. Like the synthesizer playing from Al Greenwood was fantastic on there. Good drumming, good bass playing from Rick Wills. And of course, Lou Gramm always in top shape vocally on this album, and especially on this song. This is one of my favorite songs on the album.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I thought this was a really good song. I was going to say the same thing as Jacob. I thought this would have been an even better opener because it's still very rocking. And I thought it had a really good intro. And there's a lot of good intros on this album. I think Foreigner is really good at intros, and they have a really good, they know how to write good intros. And it really hooked me into the song right from the beginning. And great start overall, and right into the first verse, whatever. And yeah, it was. I also love the keyboard playing. I thought it was really good, and vocally great. Yeah, I thought it was a really good rock song.
All right, track number 3, "Women." This was actually a single in some countries. I think in the UK this was released as a single.
Well, the UK are very lucky. I thought this was another great song on the album. This is one where I could definitely hear the bass prominently on this one, that and the guitar. It's kind of like this really good groove to it that I was really getting into. And yeah, lyrically, the song is kind of dumb. I'm not gonna lie, because it's all about women do this, women do that. There's nothing really much to it. This is like, if you really love women and what they do, this is what it is. There's nothing really to that, but I do like the charm of this song. I think because of that, I think this one there's a greater charm to this song than "Dirty White Boy." So even as juvenile as some of the lyrics can get, I don't think they went too far with it. I think it's still trying to say, "Hey, women are cool. We love you." But yeah, this is a good one. This one also made my top 5 on the album as well.
Well, I think for me, I feel about this song the way Jacob feels about "Dirty White Boy." I like the music of this one, but like the lyrics are just dumb. It's just like Lou Graham's got women on his brain. I mean, I understand that, relatable, but there's really not much to it. And there's this one line that I think is just super stupid, where it's like women in, I forget what color it is. It's like women in this color dress, women with no dress. I'm like,
Yeah,
gosh.
heard that one.
Between Dirty White Boy, this song, and the album cover, I think Foreigner was trying to go for something a bit more edgy with this album. I don't know. It just didn't work.
If you took a shot every time he said women, you'd be dead by the second verse. He says it way too many times. It's just women this, women that, women. I'm like, okay, can we do something else besides saying women every other line? I thought that was kind of annoying, the song. But the guitar is really good. And there's like some moments where it's just the guitar playing, if I remember right. And it's like really cool. Like everything kind of like shuts down and it's just the guitar riff. Like I love that kind of stuff. The bass work was really good. That's the best things I can say about the song. Good guitar, good bass. Lyrically, yeah, overall song, not that crazy about it.
Track number 4 is going to be I'll Get Even With You.
All right. This song has really good keyboards on it. Like some of the synthesizers that are on it, I'm like, yeah, this sounds like an early Foreigner track. It gave me a lot of feels like the first time vibes. I did like the vocal work on it. There's some really great harmonies on this song, especially in the chorus. I think this is one of the more underrated Foreigner deep cuts. I will say before we go any further, the best tracks on this album are on side 1.
For I'll Get Even With You, I thought this was really good. Another kind of underrated song, so I don't hear a lot of people talk about this one. Right up there with Jacob. The keyboards on this one were super cool. And this album was released in 1979, so you can kind of see the 80s are coming, big keyboard-driven music. And I think Foreigner was kind of one of the bands that were using synthesizers a lot. Them in the Cars, I feel like.
Again, I thought it was a great intro. One of the best intros on the album. Yeah, really well put together as a song. I thought it had a really good chorus. I think by far the best chorus so far on the album and best song so far. Yeah, that really sounds like more what they did in the past. As you said, yeah, really good, deep cut song, I guess, whatever you want to say. Not a hit song, but really, really good.
All right, well, our last song on the first side, track 5, is 17.
Usually when going through an album I've not heard before in full, I'd like to say what the best discovery is. 17 gets my vote for the best discovery. This song rocks. I love the guitar work on this song. I was really rocking out to this song. The storytelling I thought was engaging about reconnecting with someone after 17 years. Again, like what's said in the verses. Lou Graham really gets to belt out 17 quite a bit in the chorus. 17! Reminded me how good of a vocalist he truly is. This one really surprised me. This is one of, I think, if I had to do a ranking of some of my favorite Foreigner deep cuts, between this and Star Rider, this is definitely up there as one of the best deep cuts.
Yeah, this one is really cool. Great guitar playing on here, and again, more great synthesizer playing. I feel like Al Greenwood had a pretty prominent role on the first 2 albums, but I feel like his like synthesizer. I don't think synthesizer-ness is a word, but they're amping up even more on the synthesizers on this one. And the chorus is super good, especially with the backing vocals. They're like 17. I thought that was really cool. Like Jason always mentions what the backing vocals do, and I think that's really cool. This is definitely an underrated one on here.
I didn't like this as much as you guys. I thought it was like okay. Like obviously, again, the instrumentally, vocally, all that stuff works well. I just didn't stand out to me as much as some of the other stuff on the album.
All right, well, we're going to flip the album over to side 2 and start out with the big single on the album. The name of the album, Head Games.
Yeah, I've always liked this song ever since I first heard it. And this is easily the best single on the album, but that's not saying much because there wasn't that many big hits. I think the song is trying to be about like a battle of minds between two exes in a bad relationship. And I think there's some smart writing in that. It kind of feels like the sequel to Cold as Ice, kind of treading that line once again. There's some really good synthesizers on here. The chorus is an earworm. This is one of the better songs on the album, considering this is the only song inside 2 that's in my top 5. Just saying,
Wow.
like this one.
Okay. Well, if you haven't cracked the formula, I didn't say that right. The foreigner formula by now, they like to start each side with one of the big singles. This is definitely single material. Really good. I like how it starts out it's very bass heavy at the beginning, but it's just got a good guitar with the bow, bow, wow, bow, 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 wow, wow. And then it just changes keys. You're like, ooh. It kind of reminds me of Layla, how it's got that cool intro, but then it just almost changes keys right as soon as the song starts, and it just slides into it. And then once they get into the new key, the bass is just pounding like bow, 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 bow. And right before you get into the chorus, then there's a little run like boom, dum, 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 dum. Almost like it just keeps chugging along and getting faster and faster. And you're like, ooh. And on top of that, you got those really great keyboards from Al Greenwood. And of course, Lou Graham's vocals with the daylight turns into night. We talk about the reasons why you and I fight. You're just like, dude, this is one of the better songs lyrically on the album. It's almost like, as the guy from The Princess Bride would say, a battle of wits. It's a really good song, and I like right before it goes back into the verse again, there's like a down, 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 down. There's just a lot of really cool things on a production level on this song as well. I really like it.
Yeah, I really like the song. It's obviously a big hit for a reason. Just got that great Foreigner sound to it. I know Foreigner is just like I said, they know how to write a good hit song. Like you said, it's like they know the blueprint to a hit song, and they can bust it out anytime they want and go, yeah, this is how you write a hit song. And they put it together and go, yeah, that's a hit. The intro into the first verse is so good, and when he goes in and starts singing, it's such a great melody. Like I'm just like hooked in right away into that first verse and the melody of, and then he goes into that chorus. Yeah, of course, it's the catchiest chorus on the whole album. The head games, bum 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 bum, head game. Yeah, it's so fun to along to. It's like the one song I was listening to and I was saying along to it. I just couldn't help it. It's just too fun. And like you guys said, it's about, in a relationship, you play mind games with the other person, which is not a relationship, but it's something that happens in relationships. And so it's going for that.
Maybe they wanted to call it Mind Games, but they realized that John Lennon already wrote that song.
Yeah, mind games would make more sense, but I get they said head games. I'm like, okay, yeah.
All right, well, our next song is The Modern Day, and this is the last song that is going to be a lead vocal from guitarist Mick Jones in Foreigner's discography.
Oh man, I hate to hear that because I like Storm Rider a lot. That song was awesome. Not as big on this song. This is where I think the album started to take a dip for me. I don't hate the song on like a production level. I think there was some good guitar work, but I think especially after you come across like the title track and Love on the Telephone, you hear this guy, and it's like, yeah, this is a different singer, and he was able to hold his own on other songs. Like Star Rider is one of the best deep cuts, but this one I was just like, I'm just ready to move on.
You know what? I actually kind of like this song. It's kind of got a more acoustic vibe to it, but I actually really enjoyed it. And again, there's some good synthesizer playing on this one too. It's not my favorite song on the album, but it's pretty solid.
Every single album, there's always a song that Jacob's like, I didn't care for this song. And then I'm like, I love this song.
It's the guy with the acoustic guitar. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the guy with the acoustic guitar.
I don't know what it is. I'm always shocked. Like, oh yeah, I didn't care for this. I'm like, it's one of the best songs. These 4 songs, boom, 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 boom. Love these songs. Best songs on the album. And when I was listening to it, I thought this doesn't sound like the lead singer. So I was right when he said that. Okay, so it was not, because I was listening going, I like his voice. He just wasn't belting it out like, Graham would or whatever. But I still liked it. But man, I thought the guitar, bass, keyboard playing was so good on the song. I thought it was catchy when he went to, something, the modern day, whatever. When he did that, I thought it was great. Like, I don't know. I just love the whole sound of the song. And then there's this acoustic guitar part that kind of comes out of nowhere, like in the middle of the song, like this like interlude. And I loved it when the acoustic guitar came in and playing these very fast acoustic guitar notes. I was like, where did this come from? This is awesome. And so that came in, and I thought that was great. And then, I don't know, I just love the overall sound of the song. I thought it was great.
All right, track number the 8th is going to be Blinded by Science.
Of course, Jason already told me
What do
that he
you
liked the song. I didn't care for this one at all. This one was so slow. It was so boring. I like some of the harmonies in the chorus, and I guess Lou Graham sings good on it, but after Head Games, like, this album grinded to a halt for some reason. I was not clicking with this one.
I love how this song just kind of keeps building. How there's the synthesizer, there's like boom, 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 and it just starts with the blinded by science, I'm on the run. Da-na-na-bow-bow. And then, like, as the song keeps going, it like just keeps building and building, and then it gets to that part that's like, I don't think that we're here for no reason. There must be something here to believe in. And then, like, the band comes in behind that, and the guitar's like, boom, boom, boom. It almost has kind of like a I Want You, She's So Heavy feel, but not quite as heavy whenever the band comes in. Because it starts slow, and then the band comes in, and, it builds up. And man, I think this is his best vocal delivery on the whole album. Also, well, for the most part, I think that this is probably lyrically the best song, because it's kind of talking about, seeing a bunch of tragic world events and being like, this can't be all there is. Yeah, other than there's the one line I think is kind of stupid. I'm not an appliance, so don't turn me on. That always makes me laugh. I really like this one.
All right, good. I really like this one too. I get what Jacob's saying. It's a slower song at times. Not as catchy of a song. But I find it just an epic song, and it builds, like you said. It starts off as like this ballad, and I'm like, all right, we're gonna get a ballad, because there's really not really any ballads on this album, and the last 2 albums had like at least a couple ballads. And in fact, the last album, they were like some of my favorite songs on the album were the ballads. So I'm like waiting for some ballad stuff. Anyway, so it starts off with kind of a ballad like. So I'm like, all right, good ballad. I'm liking his voice, like, yeah, way he's singing that Blinded by Science. And then after the first part, and then the drums like kick in, like this like roll up, and then instruments come in, so it builds up some more instruments, the drums and everything. It gets a little more rocking, so I'm like, oh, it's not a ballad anymore. It's a little more rocking. I don't know if it's not a rock song. It's more like a rock ballad, I guess, because it has a ballad and rock elements to it. But yeah, I felt like as the song went, it was getting more epic, more instrumentation. Like there's a keyboard in there, just really filling out the sound, and there's some backing vocals that kick in, I think, towards the end. And he starts belting out. Yeah. First he's just blinded by science, and at the end he's like, blinded by science, like really belting out that part. And I'm like, oh man, I love it. I guess I loved it just because I don't know. I just love when a song builds from soft and slow to loud and faster pace. I just love that, and I thought this had that. It almost felt like a song you would see in like a musical theater or something like that. Had that kind of musical theater aspect to it. I just really enjoyed it. So yeah, it was one of my favorites.
Number 9, Do What You Like.
This one I thought was all right. I thought it was a decent enough song on the album. I still think it's a decent song.
I actually like this one. We've had a lot of big, powerful rocking songs on this album, and this one is kind of another more acoustic-driven song, which I think was cool. Again, not one of my like absolute favorites on here, but I like kind of the switch up and going from super heavy and super fast-paced, super rocking to kind of bringing it back a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like the song, wasn't as rocking as like Dirty White Boy, Love on the Telephone. Some of those songs are more rocking, but I really liked it. That you got something different here. It's not as rocking of a song, but overall sounded really great. And I thought the melody was really good, like the verses and then the chorus I thought was really good. And I really liked the backing vocals here. I thought were really good as well. And yeah, it's definitely a song that on first listen I didn't think too much. And the second listen, I was like, man, I really like this song. It's really kind of catchy and great sound. I mean, it has that great Foreigner sound to it that I really kind of went to liking it okay to being like top 5 song for me. Yeah.
All right, well, our album closer, track number 10, Rev on the Red Line.
Yeah, this song sucked. I did not like it. If there's any song on this album that I really did not like, it had to be the album closer. Comparing your drive, your mojo to a car, that is stupid. If you want to do a song this stupid, you need to embrace the stupid. I think it was trying to take itself a little too seriously for its own good. And some of the keyboards on the song just did not mesh with the vocals, I thought. Yeah, this one, I was just sitting there just dumbfounded that, like, this is the album closer? Really?
I have been very, I don't want to say hit or miss. I've been kind of basically just miss on Foreigner's last 2 album closers. I mean, they weren't bad, but it's probably the worst song that they've done so far, even beating out Head Knocker. It's just a generic song. Nothing really special about it, and it gets kind of cheesy sounding in some parts as well.
I really like Rev on the Red Line. I'm kind of shocked. Right. I thought it was a super catchy song. I love the chorus, and I really enjoyed the song. I thought it was really fun.
Well, that's going to take us to our top 5 and score for this album.
All right, my top 5. Dirty White Boy is an honorable mention. I think it was catchy enough to say it's one of the. I still mildly enjoyed the song, even if it's not a good album opener. Top 5. Number 5. I have to have one stupid song in the top 5. For me, that's Women. That's in my top 5. Number 4 is I'll Get Even With You. Number 3, Love on the Telephone. Number 2, Head Games. And number 1, I was shocked that A Deep Cut would be number 1. But here we go. My number 1 song on this album is 17.
That's a good choice. My number 5 is going to be I'll Get Even With You. Number 4, Love on the Telephone. Number 3, Head Games. Number 2, Dirty White Boy. And number 1, Blinded by Science. And I'm not even joking.
Awesome.
It's so good.
All right. I knew some of these songs were going to be divisive.
Our lists are so different.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Love on the Telephone Line, Rev on the Red Line, barely missed out in the top 5. I really like those 2 songs. But number 5 is I'll Get Even With You. Number 4, Do What You Like. 3, The Modern Day. 2, Blinded by Science. And number 1, I'm the only one has Head Games number 1. But I have Head Games on
I had a 3.
I had it 2.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 on those.
So we got some love for Blinded by Science here. What about the score?
All right, so the last 2 Foreigner albums, I gave both of them a 9 out of 10. I thought they were great albums. This one I do think is a step down. Side 1, I thought was really good and really memorable, but aside from the title track, Side 2 dragged out for me. I didn't care for it as much. And plus, you ended on a really bad album closer with Rev on the Red Line. I still think there's some enjoyment to be had with the album. There's still some good quality, but with Side 2 being a big dip for me, I didn't care for it. It does hurt the score quite a bit. So we go from a 9 to and this album. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, primarily because there are some low lows, but the high highs still make it semi enjoyable, especially the first 6 tracks.
Well, I'm actually going to give this an 8 out of 10. You're going to be shocked to hear I actually think I like this better than Double Vision.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I'll tell you why. I think Double Vision has the better singles. Double Vision, Hot Blooded, and Blue Morning, Blue Day. I think those are better songs than Dirty White Boy or Head Games, even though both of those were high on my list here. But I feel like Head Games as an album is better all the way through, other than Rev on the Red Line, but it being the last song, you can just stop it after Do What You Like. Double Vision had those 2 songs at the end that I thought were just kind of boring. So, and there was I liked the instrumental, but still, like, after like the first 2 songs on the second side, I often find myself turning the album off with Double Vision. So this one, I feel like I can listen to at least most of the songs on there before being like, oh, Rev on the Red Line. That's the only song that really made me go like, oh, even with some of the cringier stuff like Women, like I still liked that song. I was just like, women in a red dress, women in no dress. That's stupid. But yeah, no, 8 out of 10 for me, which is the same score that I gave to Double Vision, but I'm going to put it just a little bit above it.
Well, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. I guess I liked it the most. And yeah, it's one of those things where it's like the highs aren't nearly as high as the other 2 albums that we've covered have, the best singles on them and the higher highs. But this album doesn't have any low lows, really. Even, like I said, Dirty White Boy, Women, 17, to me, were the weakest songs. They're still not bad songs. They're still fine. I still thought the instrumentation was really good and the singing was really good. So, I didn't really hate any of the songs on this album. And so it's one of those things where I thought there's some really solid music here. And most part, I really enjoyed the album overall. And I really like their sound. They just have a great lead singer, and I think really rocking guitar, drums, bass, keyboard, whatever. Yeah, I thought it was just really solid all the way through.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and calculate that out so that we can get an average. It gives it an average of 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10, yeah.
All right, well, thank you guys for joining us here on the Foreigner Head Games review. For the next album, we are going to review their 4th album titled 4. And it's their big album, so I'm excited to get to talk about that one. It has a lot of really famous songs on there: Waiting for a Girl Like You, Urgent, Jukebox Hero. Yeah, I'm really excited to talk about that album. But in the meantime, remember that music is art, art is expression. We will see you on the next episode. Bye.